Now we got line in. You got me? You got your receiver turned on? football. Tonight, Charles Strail joined by Christian Swinsicki. We're live in Lawton getting ready for the Glads versus the Blue Devils tonight, and it's going to be an excellent game between the Gladiators and the Blue Devils. We're about 7 minutes away from the opening kick, and we're brought to you by the Chris Hathaway Farm Bureau Insurance pregame show, getting everybody set for kickoff between the Blue Devils and the Gladiators right here on Next Level Broadcasting. A fantastic game is on tap between these two teams, both coming in with a 1-0 record. The Lawton Blue Devils last week beat Benton Harbor handily, 51-27. The Gladiators coming off a 41-40 win up in Charlevoix last week against those rival Red Raiders. Christian, I mean, just the total ambiance for tonight, the presence, the feel, the high school football. It's Labor Day weekend. What more could you want?
There is some tension in the air here, isn't there not? You look out in the stands, it is packed with Blue Devil fans. And after last week's game against Charlevoix, hey, you got to look at what they're going to be, what Traverse City is going to be in today, because it wasn't no more than a week ago we saw them go just the distance, and it was brutal. Yeah. Well, certainly want to make that point that the Gladiators did have some injuries that we want to clear up and clarify. Harrison Shepard did seek treatment all week long. So did Charlie Olivier. He took a little bit of treatment on that shoulder that he was having worked on. I talked to head coach Josh Sellers on Tuesday. He said that those guys are going to be ready to roll come kickoff time for the Gladiators in a big game tonight. The Lawton fans, I was talking to them, they said that this team has not forgotten the punishment that the Gladiators administered to the Blue Devils last year up at Thurlby Field. It was a 41-7 game that the Gladiators put on the Blue Devils last year up in the friendly confines of Thurlby Field. You can just kind of get the sense that this Lawton team is ready to take on the challenge once again. This feels almost like a playoff game. This is big for both teams, right? They're both coming in, and we're only in week 2 of the season, and this is almost must win for both teams. You just feel everyone here like, yeah, they're chomping at the bit to get out there and just beat them. But hey, that's why we're here. That's why we're here, because if we're here, that means you don't have to be Gladiator Nation tuning in. We want to thank our friend Chris Hathaway at Farm Bureau Insurance for being a sponsor and today's pregame show sponsor. But first, a message from Chris, your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Hey, listen, attention all lakefront homeowners. Did you know that you can protect just about everything with Farm Bureau's new insurance coverage designed specifically for you? We're talking about your boats, your docks, your seawalls, anything marine related. Chris Hathaway at Hathaway Farm Bureau in Traverse City can help you do that. You can give them a call at 231-947-9452 to get you a quote on that policy. And as always, Chris Hathaway, the pregame show sponsor for Gladiator football here on Next Level Broadcasting. We're going to step aside here, take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups, the national anthem. This has been the Hathaway pregame show on Next Level Broadcasting. We'll see everybody in 60 seconds right after these messages.
Lives are a collection of experiences, moments. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
To Culver Meadows, Traverse City's premier family-owned senior living community specializing in dementia care. Here at Culver Meadows, we cultivate the perfect environment for your loved ones by combining our setting, scenery, and social interaction of our residents. We pride ourselves at being an extension of your own family here at Culver Meadows. Call 231-633-9430.
time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
I got it right here.
Let's go blue.
And welcome back into Lawton High School. Charles Strail, Christian Swinsicki, and the crew of Next Level Broadcasting getting ready to kick this one up. Roughly about 1 minute remaining on the clock before we get started from Lawton. Gladiators just making their way onto the field right now. But before we get settled in, we want to thank our pregame show sponsor one more time. That's Chris Hathaway at Farm Bureau Insurance in Traverse City. All of the sponsors coming together to bring you this one between Glads and the Lawton Blue Devils, anticipating a huge game tonight, as this has playoff potential written all over it. We also want to thank some of our other sponsors. Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport. Listen, Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport is your gateway to Northern Michigan, and now is the best time to fly TVC. Flying Traverse City Cherry Capital will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. When booking your next trip, book with Traverse City Cherry Capital. Visit tvcairport.com to do so. Gladiators making their way onto the field here, and we're getting it rolling. Band still on the field for the Lawton Blue Devils. Gladiators now resting that helmet in the left shoulder as we embrace for our national anthem.
As we pay tribute to the active members of the United States military, all of our veterans, our flag, and our country, with the playing of tonight's national anthem.
Well, welcome back to Lawton High School. Charles Strail with Christian Swinsicki here as we're getting ready.
Tonight's game is played according to the rules and regulations of the Michigan.
From Lawton. And Lawton, if you're wondering, is just about 15 miles to the southwest of Kalamazoo, if anybody was wondering. Christian, I mean, we made the trek down from northern Michigan today. It was about a 3.5-hour drive, a lot of traffic going north as we were going south. So that was definitely in our blessings as we were traveling.
Yeah, we had that 3.5-hour drive. We drove separately, but, man, thank gosh we weren't on the north trek because that was so unbelievably packed. Hey, like you said, we made the trek down here, so you at home, you in Traverse City, you didn't have to make that trip.
That's right. Gladiators won the opening coin toss and elected to receive. So it will be the Blue Devils kicking off to the Gladiators here as we get things underway.
St. Francis is Josh Sellers. The head coach of the Blue Devils is Wade Waldrop.
And as the Blue Devils are getting ready to kick this one off, Blue Devils in the yellow uniforms tonight, Gladiators in the white gold pants, blue lettering in the gold trim, as always, golden helmets for the Gladiators.
I did want to point out, Charles, that now that I think about it, you choose the yellow that way because to avoid the heat, right? It is down here in Lawton, we're looking at nearly cloudless skies, and the sun was just beating down on the field.
That's right. Logan Knapp, the senior for the Blue Devils, set to kick it away back deep for the Gladiators as Shepard and Olivier. That one, a booming kick back through the end zone for a touchback. Wow, man. So definitely keep that in the back of the mind as we proceed into this game. Knapp, the kicker for the Blue Devils, with some serious thunder in that right foot as the Gladiators are going to set up shop at the 20-yard line. They're moving from left to right, and we'll see, as we talked about in the pregame, the health of some of those players that were injured last week. We saw Harrison Shepard. It looks like he's going to be able to shake off an ankle injury as the Gladiators come out in a tight formation. Shotgun set for Endress, flanked by Olivier and Shepard. He's going to drop back to pass, throwing it out into flat, intended for Harrison Shepard.
It was just off the fingertips. Hey, a little high, but you execute them throws. Those are some good plays on first down.
Yeah, I like the play call there, trying to slip Shepard out of the backfield in order to get him a touch early in the game. See and allow him to have an opportunity to test that ankle. It's going to be 2nd and 10, Gladiators from their own 20. Endress in the shotgun once again, drop back to pass, 3-step drop. Got a completion out to the 25-yard line. It looked like it was caught on the right, and tackle was made right at the 26. Lisinski, the first reception of the game for the Gladiators. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long for
Traverse City. Yeah, 3rd and long for Traverse City. We're looking at some last-minute play calling as they're looking over to the sideline here.
Yep. Endress back under center for the 3rd and 4 and a mile. And it looks like they got a jump. They did. They drew him offside on the hard count. Guilty party for the Blue Devils was 77 Jason Barnett. So the Gladiators strike once again with that hard count. That's going to give them a first down. We saw that last week up against Charlevoix to the tune of 3 times. The Gladiators picked up 5 yards and twice for first downs.
And each of those 3 times it was pivotal because those were on 3rd and 2nd downs looking for a first down.
So Gladiators going back into a shotgun formation. H-back to the far side. And they're going to keep and hand off. It looked like it could have been a little bit of a busted play as Harrison Shepard took that one, but Lawton doing a good job. Actually, that was
Lawton tackle by number 12, Cole Burke. No gain of the play.
Cam Sellers, who was the ball carrier there.
Looking at sort of a full set, as though it appears from up here.
Yep. Back under center, offset I. Endress turns and hands, and tackled right at the line of scrimmage is Braxton Lisinski.
Lisinski, the ball carrier. Nowhere to go, wrapped up by the Blue Devils.
In the backfield, now I imagine we're going to be looking back at the shotgun formation that we were seeing them throw out of.
Loss of 3 will make it 3rd and 13.
But we're looking at 3rd and 15 here.
Endress in the shotgun once again. doubles to the top of the screen. It's the design quarterback draw, and that's not going to gain much.
Bringing up 4th down. Early punting situation right out the gate.
And oh man,
Andrus limping off the field. Did you see that?
Andrus came off the field in a hurry. That left shoulder looked like, actually the right shoulder. He's getting some attention from the St. Francis medical staff right now on that sideline. He stands up. They're checking that right hand. Also want to make mention that I know we talked about Harrison Shepard in the pregame show. We still haven't seen him on the field yet. As the Gladiators get set to send this one back, deep man for the Blue Devils is James Holder.
High punt.
The punt is an end-over-end kick, bounces at the Gladiator 47 and rolls just shy of midfield. And it was eventually brought down by Lisinski. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lawton Blue Devils from the Gladiator 49.
An early test of mettle for Traverse City for the Gladiators as they were quick. That was a quick drive. It wasn't a 3 and out, but they were quick in and out. And now your defense is immediately put back out there, or put out there for the first drive. But unlike last week where they were able to start making explosive plays right out the gate.
So the Lawton Blue Devils taking over at the 49-yard line for the Gladiators. They go under center. Full house backfield. They're going to turn and hand off on the left side of their offensive line. Mitchell, the ball carrier for them. He was tackled by Sellers and a host of other Gladiators for a marginal gain. Eli Bigger also in on the tackle for the Gladiators. It's going to be 2nd and 9. Ball on the 48.
The Gladiators' defensive line last week was able to make a big impact.
It sure was. And it's back under center for the Blue Devils. They're going to turn around once again, picking his way through. And it was,
yeah, it was Cal Motter on that one.
Yep.
He was able to dance and wiggle his way around for about a gain of 4.
Charlie Olivier, first Gladiator, in on the tackle, limiting Motter to a 3-yard gain on 2nd and 9, so it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Blue Devils. With that full house backfield once again, closed set, 2 tight ends. They're going to send it to Motter. He's looking to get the edge. Can he get the edge? He does. Eventually brought down on the far side, but not before picking up a 1st down. It was Braden Tharp, the cornerback for the Gladiators, that eventually got over there to force Motter out of bounds.
He just had the edge. He was able to just outspeed him. Eventually the defense was able to catch him. Gladiators defense off to being tested right out the gate.
That's right. 1st and 10 from the Gladiator 37. Lawton under center once again. They're going to fake the handoff. Right up the middle, it's an inside give on a dive. Switching hands with the ball, and the ball carrier is down at the 9-yard line, brought down by Harrison Shepard. There is Harrison Shepard. First time we've called his name tonight. Glad to see him back out there on the field running well.
That was Caleb Mallory,
yep.
Blue Devils.
Mallory, the carrier for the Blue Devils, slipped him right up the middle on the inside give.
1st and goal from the 9-yard line.
1st and goal from the 9 for the Blue Devils.
This makes you wonder how healthy are the Gladiators out there.
That's right. But here's an opportunity for them to bow their backs down at the goal line. Inside give once again on the misdirection play. Motter, he got stopped right at the original line of scrimmage by Charlie Olivier for no gain. 2nd and goal now for the Blue Devils. Gladiators with their first opportunity to really put the clamps down and have a bend but not break defensive stand. 2nd and goal, Blue Devils. Full house backfield once again. They're going to pitch it to Motter. He's got a block on the outside, cuts it back against the grain, and he's in for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Blue Devils.
So Blue Devils strike first. Motter gets it in for the Blue Devils, putting them up 6-0 early on the Gladiators. 6 minutes, 54 seconds left in the first quarter from Lawton High School. It was Motter who got the pitch. He pushed it to the edge and eventually found a cutback lane in the Gladiator defense and was able to punch it in for 6 for the Blue Devils.
the game plan appears for the Blue Devils that they're going to run to the outside. All of their success when they were running the ball was outside of the tackles.
And Logan Knapp, his extra point is good, and that'll put it 7-0 as the Blue Devils strike first against your Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators. 6 minutes, 54 seconds here live at Lawton. This game has been brought to you by our friends at Renew It Decks. With more than 18 years of construction and deck building experience, Renew It Decks and Outdoor Living will customize your design and deck and outdoor living space to fit your taste and lifestyle. And building a custom deck and outdoor living space starts using the best materials. Renew It can build that with those best materials and meet your specific functional and aesthetic needs. Renew It Deck is also looking to hire in the Grand Traverse area with their very expansive employee benefits, including a competitive industry wage, 5 weeks paid time off, profit sharing, 401k match, health care options, and full-time year-round work. For job inquiries, call 231-881-6282. That's Renew It Decks and Outdoor Living, bringing you tonight's game from Lawton High School so you can hang out up north over Labor Day weekend. Knapp getting ready to kick this one away for the Blue Devils. Quick line change for the Blue Devils as they tee it up, send it away. It's a modest kick, fielded at the 10-yard line by Charlie Olivier. Past the 20, past the 30. He's got a lane on the sideline, gets a block at the 45 and is out across midfield, eventually brought down by the Blue Devils on their own 47-yard line. Excellent blocking. Nice job by Olivier to turn that one back up in. Got a really nice block at the 45-yard line from Mason Daziak, and the Gladiators are set up nicely in Blue Devil territory on their second possession of the game.
If there was any questions about Olivier's health right there, I feel like all the questions should have been answered. He was running. He had that full head of steam.
Yeah, I mean, he just runs so smooth. And we have a new set formation as the Gladiators go in the. They're going to pitch this one to Olivier, trying to get the corner on the outside edge, eventually dragged out of bounds. But not after a gain. Picked up about 3 yards, eventually dragged down on the play by Cole Burke. Gladiators in that offset I formation once again.
It's the formation that led them to victory last week, was it not?
2nd and 8.
You stick to your guns, you keep doing what's working.
And the big change here for the Gladiators, Harrison Shepard now under center as they go to a twin H-back look. Richardson dots the I between Shepard. He'll take the direct handoff. Richardson picks his way up to about the Blue Devil 40-yard line. Just an update. Endress, the starting quarterback for the Gladiators, is resting on the St. Francis bench right now with a sling on his right arm. So I would imagine that his status to return is highly questionable at this point in time. Harrison Shepard now the quarterback for the Gladiators as they work here with 6 minutes in the first quarter.
It's early for your quarterback to be down also.
Right, Shepard in the shotgun, flanked by Richardson and Sellers. He's going to take the direct snap, trying to keep it up the middle, but was brought down quickly. That was Caleb Mallory on the tackle for the Blue Devils.
As that brings up 4th down.
Tackled by 32, Caleb Mallory, 43, Caleb Turner, and number 0.
Well, your game plan changes a little bit once your quarterback is out.
Yeah.
You do want to see the offense kind of continue, play a little bit harder, play that aggressive tone that we saw last week.
That's right. Gladiators setting up to kick this one away. Back deep for the Blue Devils is Motter. Warren Asher sends it up high. Punt, good hang time, spiraling punt. It's going to bounce at the 10 and be down inside right at the 5-yard line by Braxton Lisinski. Excellent job of special teams so far early on in this game by the Gladiators. Christian, gotta like the punt or the kickoff return. Nice punt by Warren Asher, and good job of coverage by Lisinski getting down there to down that one right at the 5-yard line.
Although you really don't want to see your punt team out there because you want to be seen putting points on the board. You can't be mad with that result. And it got a Gladiator bounce as that ball hit the turf at about
the 10, yeah.
Yeah, the 10, and it got that extra 5 to 6 yards. You can't be mad at that.
So Blue Devils come back out, full house backfield. They're going to hand right up the middle and getting out to about the 7-yard line was Mater, just trying to pick that one up just to get a little breathing room inside their own, backed up inside their own territory.
This is the field position game. If you can hold them to a 3-and-out right here, they punt it right back, and you have the ball back at midfield.
Yeah, that would be huge if the Gladiators are indeed able to get a 3-and-out, force a punt from deep in the Blue Devils' own territory. Back under center, the Blue Devils go as Aiden O'Brien is going to have a little bit of a mishandle in the backfield. He keeps it going around the corner and gets out to the 17-yard line. Eventually, yeah, that was a nice little ball fake that O'Brien had in the backfield. He was eventually brought down by Tyler Cadlick in the Gladiators, but Gladiators letting the Blue Devils escape from deep inside their own territory.
A little bit of the commentator jinx, was it not? I mentioned a 3-and-out, and the first thing they get is a first down after that.
O'Brien back under center, full house backfield for the Blue Devils. It's going to be an inside give. Nice play made inside by Charlie Olivier, and Olivier diagnosed that one right away.
Olivier all over on the field when he's on the defensive side of the ball. That's a good thing to see, especially after the health scare that we saw last week.
Yeah, nice play, follow in and reading those keys, making sure that his eyes are well trained as he was working against those pulling guards for the Blue Devils. 2nd and 10, outside give to Mater. And he's going to pick up around 6 yards on 2nd and 10. A big collision, and we've got a Gladiator down. Can't quite make out the number of the Gladiator that's down on the field, but we're going to step aside and be right back in 30 seconds as they attend to the injured Gladiator. We'll be back right after this. St. Francis football on Next Level Broadcasting.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
And it was Warren Asher, the injured Gladiator, there on 2nd. It'll bring up 3rd and 4. Asher jogged off the field, seeking some medical attention there. He's got his helmet off on the sideline. O'Brien's going to pitch to Mater. In the backfield early was Richardson, and it's going to be close and depend on the spot. And it'll be enough for a first down. First down for the Blue Devils.
He had the Gladiators, they had him in the backfield. However, that little juke move that he was able to make, get him just enough for the first down, moving them chains.
Just enough. Maybe picked it up by 3 or 4 inches. A couple of chain links as well. O'Brien for the Blue Devils looking right into the sun, trying to get his call from his offensive coordinator. First time we've seen it all game. Blue Devils send one receiver into the boundary, into the top of the screen. It's a pitch to Mater around the right side of the offensive line. He makes one cut. He makes another cut back. Mater is still on his feet across the 40-yard line. He's got lane and he's got speed, and he's not going to be caught. Mater taking it all the way for a big-time run for the Blue Devils. 73-yard touchdown run. There is a flag down, and this one could be coming back We'll see what the call is. Referee at the 40-yard line. It is a block in the back versus the Blue Devils. So that will be wiped off the board. Big-time penalty for the Blue Devils, and that is costly.
Oh, man. They had all the momentum. It looked like they were good. It felt like a gut punch right out the gate. And that block in the back, oh, my gosh. Traverse City, hey, last week they had the block in the back that was called on Charlevoix, too, this week.
And that's one thing about the Gladiators is they will not beat themselves. The penalties that we see a lot of other teams have don't quite affect the Gladiators, and that's due to this program, due to the training, the execution, and the mental discipline of these Gladiator players. It will still be a first down. They mark the ball at the spot of the foul. So the ball will lie on the Blue Devil 38-yard line. It's 1st and 10, but wipe the big play off the board. 2 minutes, 2 seconds left to go. It'll be under 2 by the time they snap this ball.
Are we?
Yep, and Lawton coming back in a full house set once again. 3 running backs for the Blue Devils. O'Brien under center. He's going to turn and keep it. He's got the ball, keeping around the near side. He's running and eventually brought down by Harrison Shepard at the St. Francis 42-yard line.
Lower in the shoulder, pushing Shepard back. Shepard now, hey, they're testing him too. They're going to see how healthy he is this week. We see Olivier, he looks healthy. Shepard, he was right in there, wasn't afraid to take him head on.
Yeah, Shepard doing a good job of tackling and bringing down the much larger O'Brien. But a big possession here for the Gladiators. Really trying to work hard to prevent Lawton from putting any more points up on the board.
To put this in perspective, you mentioned larger than Shepard. Shepard is still 6'1".
Right. O'Brien is listed as 6'4", the quarterback for the Blue Devils. O'Brien hands inside up the middle, tackled by Sellers. Mallory picks up 10.5 yards on 1st and 10. Mallory, the smaller of the 3 running backs for the Blue Devils. Motter, their more home run hitter, if you will. But Mallory definitely packs a punch as he goes 5'7", 150, but more petite as the running backs go for the Blue Devils. They go back under center. 3 down linemen for the Glads. Up to the up back again, it's Mallory. He's going to take it into and inside the 30-yard line.
Hand off to Mallory.
And he's got 4 yards on 1st and 10. It'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Running it right down the throat of Traverse City. Hey, you need to stop on defense. You need to stop the bleeding. After that long run, it was called back, but it feels like maybe Traverse City is getting a little gas. And
well, you gotta like the effort here. And the Blue Devils are taking a lot of time off this clock. They're going to take this one down to the end of the quarter. So after 1 quarter of play here on Next Level Broadcasting, the Blue Devils up 7-0 over the Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators. We're going to step aside here, come back. When we come back, 2nd quarter action on Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back in 2nd quarter action here from Lawton High School. You're tuning into Next Level Broadcasting's coverage of Traverse City St. Francis High School football. 2nd and 6 from the Gladiator 28-yard line. O'Brien in the full house backfield for the Blue Devils. He's going to turn in hand and keep it, keeping it floating, a tight end out into the flat.
O'Brien's pass complete.
It was complete.
Number 0, Nolan Collins. And
Nolan
Blue Devils
Collins,
first down.
the receiver for the Blue Devils, and that will move the chains once again for the Blue Devils. Once again, if you're just joining us now in the second quarter, Gladiators down 7-0 versus the Lawton Blue Devils on the opening possession for the Gladiators. It was an injury to their quarterback, unfortunately. We'll summarize this in a little bit as the Blue Devils go back up and under center. It looked like the ball's on the ground. O'Brien picks it up. He's going to get sacked for a loss. Big time play made by the Gladiators. First Gladiator in on the tackle to bring down O'Brien was Mason Dasiak.
That's really big. You know, you need to play clean football, and that's the thing that Traverse City really does. Traverse City St. Francis, you're playing clean football, you're getting ahead in the count.
2nd and 16 for the Blue Devils. St. Francis with 3 down linemen. O'Brien hands up the middle. And after a marginal gain of about 4 yards, Mallory is eventually brought down by Warren. Actually, Cam Sellers and Ben DeCarlis in on the tackle for the Gladiators. It'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Blue Devils.
That was right up the middle. That's the first, I believe, successful play we've seen against the Gladiators' defensive line up the middle. Would like to see them tighten that back up.
Yeah, we've seen the Blue Devils have some success with Mallory, you know, just a different kind of runner. It's 3rd and 10. Blue Devils still in the full house set. O'Brien under center. He's going to turn and keep it. He's keeping this one, working around the right side of the line. Picks his way to the 15-yard line. They're going to mark him just inside of the 15. It'll be 4th and 4 for the Blue Devils.
That first down fumble, that really cost them in the yardage. However,
yep,
I do see Kale Motter motioning that they might be elected to kick.
Yep. Tharp and Gruber on the tackle for the Gladiators. It's 9 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the second quarter. 4th and 4. Early decision time for the Lawton Blue Devils and their coaching staff here. Let's see what Wade Waldrop wants to do. He's going to burn a timeout and take a little bit more time to think about this. Big decision here early on in the second quarter. And we are going to take a little bit of time to thank some more of our sponsors. We want to thank our friends Magnum Hospitality and PGO's Pizza. Listen, since 1983, PGO's Pizza has been serving their award-winning pizzas to Traverse City and all of Grand Traverse County. A taste bud shattering experience after each bite, and you can experience that 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And with a pickup and delivery service, there's no excuse to not make PGO's your next dinner selection. And if pizza won't suffice, let Magnum Hospitality spice up your dining experience at the Red Mesa Grill in Traverse City. Red Mesa features the perfect complement of spices to fire up your taste buds, but don't take our word for it. Try for yourself at Red Mesa Grill in Traverse City. We're back into live action here, 4th and 4, and looks like the Lawton Blue Devils are lining up to kick this field goal. Number 47, Logan Knapp, with the holder, Caleb Mallory. Kicking from the 22, this will be a 32-yard field goal. Knapp puts it up and puts it in. So Knapp puts the Blue Devils up 10-0. So if you're the Gladiators, you got to like the way that they were able to stop the progression of the Blue Devils there. It looked like the drive was clicking along pretty well for the Blue Devils. They had that negative play that pushed them back about 9 yards on the first down sack. St. Francis able to keep the Blue Devils out of the end zone, force them to settle for 3. I'd imagine you got to feel like that's a win, as the Gladiators now have a chance to kind of catch their breath, recoup after the injury that happened to their quarterback on the first series of the game, Tyler Endress. He's still on the sideline. I say that he's probably not going to return for this game.
To say that's a win of a drive, I believe, is an understatement, because if you recall, in the last quarter, that drive almost was a touchdown. They ended up calling the drive back due to a block in the back, and then Lawton was able to just kind of punch it in 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, and St. Francis was able to hold their own, force a field goal.
A quick injury update, Tyler Endress will not return for the Gladiators in this game. So it will be Harrison Shepard under center for the Gladiators the rest of the way, I presume. Logan Knapp getting ready to send this one away for the Blue Devils. Back for the Gladiators is Charlie Olivier. It's a high end-over-end kick fielded by Sellers at his 12-yard line. He's going to push it up the right side, gets a block. He's going to turn it on the right side. He's got some speed. He's got 2 men to beat, and eventually brought down by Knapp across the 40-yard line. So St. Francis is going to set up shop on their own 42. Another good kickoff return. Sellers picked that one up and took it 27 yards as the Gladiators will set up shop here.
St. Francis' special teams right now is operating as well as it could be. Each return is for 20-plus yards.
And let's not forget about that punt.
It's what I was just about to mention.
Asher's punt was downed at the 5-yard line by Lisinski on the last Gladiator possession. Looks like we've got a little shotgun set here. Glad send 2 men to the top of the screen. Sellers down near us in the bottom. Shepard in the shotgun formation. They're going to motion Olivier in jet motion. Hand to Olivier. He's got some room around the near side. Gets a couple blocks. Works to find the outside of the Blue Devil defense. And he finds himself standing at the 47-yard line. So nice pickup of 5 yards on first down for Olivier in the Gladiators offense.
I'm going to say the old cliche adage of you love to see a 5-yard run on first down. That is a tone setter for your drive. Now you just have to keep building on that.
Yep, second and a long 4 for the Gladiators. Shepard in the shotgun, flanked to his right by Tommy Richardson. Sellers, the lone receiver, into the bottom of the screen. They're going to motion Sellers, and they're going to keep it. Shepard's keeping it, gets a block, and we'll get a Gladiator first down. Nice block was thrown by Brian Rylson.
Hey, test the health out, young man. Get out there, lower the shoulder. That's what he did, but able to get that first down.
Good job of St. Francis testing the eye discipline of the Blue Devils by sending Sellers in that jet motion, forcing those linebackers to read their keys and then follow the guard. So we'll see if St. Francis can continue to use that motion to disguise where they're going with the football. Full house backfield, 3 running backs for the Gladiators now as Harrison Shepard moves under center. 2 tight ends for the Gladiators as well. He's going to turn around, hand to Olivier, breaks 1 tackle. He's across the 40, across the 35. Ball is fumbled but out of bounds. It was knocked out of bounds by Garcia in the Blue Devils, but Olivier picking up another first down for the Gladiators. So it seems like the Glads have found what they want to get into offensively as they've picked up a handful of first downs on this current drive, Christian.
Did you hear the gasp from the Lawton crowd, Charles? They were ready. They were eager. Traverse City and Olivier able to keep that in their possession, though. That was close.
That's right. Glad's back under center. 2 tight ends, full house set. Shepard takes the snap. He's going to keep it rolling out right. Can he get away? He cannot. Brought down for a 14-yard sack as Shepard gets taken down back at the Blue Devil 44-yard line. So that's going to push the Gladiators back to a 2nd and 16.
I know it's a lot harder than it's a lot easier said than done. You want to try and dump that away, avoid the sack, but man, when you have the pressure barreling down on you and the man is 20 yards away from you, that's hard to get that ball near him to avoid the sack.
That's right. Shepard back under center for the Glads once again. Ball at the 41-yard line. A little bit of a mis-exchange, but a nice hole on the far side. Olivier getting a lot of that sack yardage back. Gets back across the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and about, let's call it a long 8 for the Gladiators. And, that looked like there was some mistiming in the backfield there, but it allowed, nonetheless, that offensive line doing a good job along the left side of that offensive line. That's Eli Bigger and Matthew Kane working in tandem there to open up those holes for the Gladiators.
That's the deception of it running that full house set.
Yep. This time they're going to go in the shotgun. Twins to the bottom of the screen. Shepard's going to take the speed option. Not a lot of blocking out there on the right side of that line, and he's brought down for a 3-yard loss. Tackled by Mallory and the Blue Devils. So it's
behind the line by Cole Burke for Lawton.
That's going to bring out 4th down for St. Francis, I believe.
yeah, so 4th, and let's call it 4th and 12. Ball rests on the Blue Devil 35-yard line.
For St. Francis from the 35-yard line.
We've seen an effective possession here for the Gladiators. They started at about their own 42, picked up a couple of first downs, but that sack on first down here kind of made this drive stall.
We're looking at they
And
were just in
good.
the huddle.
Yeah, they're lining up to go for it. And Shepard was getting ready to go for it. He was under center in a full house set. St. Francis going to take a timeout. We're going to keep it right here. There's 5 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in the second quarter. This game is moving along at a fast pace, which is going to give us time to thank our friends at Culver Meadows, which is located right off of Silver Lake Road, is Culver Meadows, Grand Traverse premier senior living center specializing in Alzheimer's and dementia care. Their friendly and experienced staff can truly be an extension of your family and will offer you peace of mind that your loved ones are going to be treated with friendliness, care, and expertise. For more information, call Culver Meadows at 231-633-9430. That's Culver Meadows, a proud sponsor of Traverse City St. Francis football on Next Level Broadcasting. Also want to thank our friends at Team Elmers. Established in 1956, and ever since, Team Elmers has been committed to building better communities, and they're committed to bringing you the Team Elmers hardest working player of the game tonight. That's Team Elmers, building better communities, and the hardest working player of the game. We'll announce that in the fourth quarter on tonight's broadcast. Glad's back out, ready to go for it. One receiver to the top of the screen, that's Sellers. Olivier in the slot to the bottom. Shepard takes the pass, dropping back. He's going to have to make something happen here. And he's brought down in the backfield for a sack. And it was O'Brien who caught Shepard in the backfield. Actually, it was Cole Burke. Cole Burke who shot the gap and was able to bring down Shepard in the backfield.
It's one of those things I was mentioning with Endress down, is that your game plan is going to change a little bit. The timing is going to be a little different. You don't have quite the chemistry with your backup quarterback as you did from prior before the injury.
So, but, you know, the Gladiator defense still with an opportunity here to really shore up, give them an opportunity late in the second quarter. Single eye set, ball's on the ground.
Ball.
Mater lost it. Did he recover it? It looks like he did. That's the second fumble we've seen right near the 35, 40-yard line there. Olivier had one that went out of bounds. Mater there losing it, but eventually able to get back on it.
Lawton has not the cleanest of handoffs that we've seen so far. That's the third. That's the third mishandling of the handoff that
we've seen. Yeah,
we're only in the second quarter.
As we are in the second quarter, 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Single tailback look for the Blue Devils. Fake handoff to Mater. Coming up is Olivier with the pressure. Throwing deep as O'Brien got a man. Picked off by Cam Sellers. That should be an interception, but it's ruled incomplete. Cam Sellers with great coverage. I don't know what the official saw there. He probably saw it better than us, Christian, but Cam Sellers doing a great job of forcing the incomplete pass.
Lawton dodging a big bullet right there. You're right, Charles. That, to me, looked like an interception. I was trying to focus on a handful of things here, but more importantly, that looked to me like an interception. It's just the officials didn't see it that way.
O'Brien keeping around the right end again, being chased out of bounds by Ben DeCarlis and eventually forced out of bounds at the Blue Devil 46-yard line. So we'll see if the Blue Devils elect to punt this one away. It's going to be 4th and 4 from their own 46.
I mean, they had, St. Francis, they had him in the backfield, unable to make the tackle. O'Brien able to squeak out, get about a gain of 9. They're
going to say 4th and 2, actually. And they got a good spot favoring the Blue Devils, and they're lining up to go for it from their own 46-yard line.
Boy,
line to gain is just beyond the 48-yard line. I'd
generous
imagine a
4th and 2.
hard count here. Gladiators got to be ready for a hard count. They're going to pitch it to Mater around the right side, gets a good block. Asher can't quite get there. Cam Sellers forces him out of bounds, and they're going to pick up a first down.
St. Francis needs to watch those outside, seal the edges. That's where the speed is hurting them.
Yeah.
They
got a really good block on the edge. Was James Holder, number 7 for the Blue Devils, able to seal the edge. And it allowed the Blue Devils to pick up a critical 4th and 3. Now we're almost to the 4-minute, 10-second mark in the second quarter here. Ball at midfield. Full house backfield once again for the Blue Devils. O'Brien hands off up the middle. Tackle made by Charlie Olivier after a gain of 4 yards on 1st and 10.
One of the things that I will credit the Gladiators in doing is that they're able to, keep away from the deception that Lawton is putting out when they run those full sets, because there's a lot of fake handoffs that they're doing, and the Blue Devils, they're able to snuff it out on that play right there. Or the Gladiators, my mistakes.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of these 2nd and 6s, 2nd and 4s for the Blue Devils. They're doing a good job of putting themselves in good down and distances. O'Brien now under center once again. Gladiators with 3 down linemen. Stand up, defensive ends. O'Brien's going to turn around on the keeper, breaks 1 tackle all the way down to the 30-yard line.
Helmet comes off.
He spun around and did a full 360 in the backfield with 3 complete fakes on the full house set, and he picks up 15 yards on their counter play.
I do want to say, I believe since O'Brien's helmet came off, the rule is that he has to come out for the next play.
He does. So the Blue Devils will send in their backup quarterback. That's Timothy Willoughby, and I'd like to see what they do here. This is probably just going to be a direct handoff. Oftentimes on this type of scenario, teams will go to like a wildcat set, but Blue Devils going back right to their bread and butter. Under center, full house set. Ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground, and it looked like Willoughby got back to it, but there were some Gladiators right in there that were sniffing that ball. A couple Gladiators at the bottom of the pile. First one in there looked like was Brian Ralston, who almost came away with that, and that was the 3rd ball we've seen on the ground by the Blue Devil offense.
That's as simple as the snap of a ball, right? When the backup quarterback comes in, you hope and pray that they can get the snap right. However, that's not the case there.
That's right. O'Brien back in under center. He's going to fake and pass this one out into the flat. He's got Mater. Mater's got some room, and he's brought down by Cam Sellers and Harrison Shepard out there on the tackle, but it'll pick up a first down. They slipped Mater out of the backfield on the play fake, and he got out of the flats and had a lot of room to work once he caught O'Brien's pass.
They leaked out. I mean, that's their bread and butter on the pass play, is it not? They do the play action, and they get a simple 5-yard throw.
That's right. They're going to pitch this one to Mater. He's working around the right side, stiff arms, and is eventually brought down by Charlie Olivier. Mater could not get out of the grasp of number 8 in white, and Olivier brought him down, and it's a pickup of 3 yards on 1st and 10. Ball is now at the St. Francis 14-yard line.
That's a big man to get away from once he has your grasp.
And this is a give right up the middle to their fullback. Ball is out. It's recovered by an offensive lineman for the Blue Devils. That's the 4th fumble recovered by the Blue Devils.
This is almost unreal.
In the first half.
They've had all the chances. The ball has hit the ground, and they just can't get to bounce their way, Traverse City can.
I can't believe how many balls have bounced right into the hands of the Blue Devils as Mater is going to pick his way in for a touchdown.
They're ruling it a touchdown. Hey, you have chance after chance. The ball just doesn't bounce your way. That oblong-shaped ball, that's almost unreal how many times it's hit the ground and it just keeps bouncing back into the hands of a Blue Devil player, huh?
And let's see here. For the Blue Devils, it was Motter who punched it in for the touchdown. They extend their lead to 16-0 over the Gladiators. Teeing it up for the point after attempt, which is right through the uprights. Point after is good by Logan Knapp, and the Blue Devils extend this one to 17-0. Want to keep everyone here when we break for a halftime. We'll be right back with the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport halftime show here on Next Level Broadcasting. We'll talk about the first half summary, a little recap if you're just joining us now, and give our thoughts, opinions, and analysis on what we think the Gladiators can do to get themselves back into this game. Lawton will receive the third quarter kickoff, so this is a very important 1 minute and 18 seconds left for the Gladiators.
Yeah, you have to score something. You have to get some kind of momentum going into half for the Gladiators. They're showing some life on offense, and then it just ends up fizzling out, leading to a punt or a long fourth down conversion. You got to show some life on offense. They've had some sparks on defense and holding the Blue Devils to some plays. Ball bounces your way a couple more times, and they hasn't bounced their way at all. And from my perspective, Gladiators show some life on offense, and maybe the ball will start bouncing your way once you get the opportunities. As we are set for the kickoff here.
Yep, back deep is Olivier Sellers and Shepard for the Gladiators. Knapp set to kick it away, high end over end kick. Shepard fields it near his own goal line. Bringing it out is Shepard, gets one block and is eventually brought down as he crosses the 20-yard line.
Shepard is the do-it-all man today, is he not? He's getting the ball on every chance that.
Yeah, and he was grabbing at that right ankle too.
Yeah, he's kind of limping gingerly.
Yeah, he's trying to jog that off as he was getting up from the field there. He was kind of clutching at that right ankle, which is the ankle that he injured last week at Charlevoix. He's in the fourth quarter. But Harrison is a tough kid, a tough ball player, and now an opportunity for the Gladiators to show their toughness as a team here. 1 minute, 11 seconds to go in the second quarter. Gladiators with 2 timeouts remaining, and the Lawton Blue Devils are going to take a timeout, but we're going to keep it right here. Remind everyone that the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport halftime show is coming up in 1 minute and 11 seconds of game time. Not sure how long that's going to take in real time, but since we've got some time, we're going to thank our friends at Redmond Automotive. Listen, Gladiator fans and families, we know that sometimes your teen drivers get in the occasional fender bender or put a transmission out of order if you're trying to teach those kids how to drive a manual transmission. When those occasions occur, trust the pros at Redmond Automotive to get your ride back on the road as quickly as possible. Full service and family owned and operated for over 35 years. That's Redmond Automotive, proud sponsor of Gladiator football here on Next Level Broadcasting. I mean, if you're trying to teach your son or daughter how to drive a manual transmission, you should also seek our good friend, Chris Hathaway at Farm Bureau Insurance. Might be able to get you set up with an auto policy for your student driver as well. 1 minute, 11 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Gladiators down 17-0. Harrison Shepard under center. Offset I formation. And they're going to turn and hand this one to Olivier, and he's brought down after about a half-yard gain.
If you're on the offense right now, I was anticipating a more explosive start to this drive now, knowing that you have 1 minute and 11 left, and you need some kind of momentum going into halftime.
I think right now for the Gladiators, it's, they've experienced a lot early on in this game. Their starting quarterback is injured. There's been 4 fumbles on the ground by the Blue Devils that the Blue Devils have just fallen back on. So now this snap is going to be under the 30-second mark in the second quarter. Shepard under center once again. Snaps it at 26 seconds. It's a handoff to Cam Sellers, and he's unable to get out of the grasp of that left side of the defensive line for Lawton. In there on the stop was big number 5, Jack Fletcher and 43 Caleb, or excuse me, 44 Braden Russell for the Blue Devils. We've got 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And with that, we're going to go to the halftime here from Lawton High School. Gladiators down 17-0. Lawton will receive the third quarter kick. When we come back from this break, we'll have the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport halftime show on Next Level Broadcasting right after these halftime messages.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
To Culver Meadows, Traverse City's premier family-owned senior living community specializing in dementia care. Here at Culver Meadows, we cultivate the perfect environment for your loved ones by combining our setting, scenery, and social interaction of our residents. We pride ourselves at being an extension of your own family here at Culver Meadows. Call 231-633-9430.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
To Culver Meadows, Traverse City's premier family-owned senior living community specializing in dementia care. Here at Culver Meadows, we cultivate the perfect environment for your loved ones by combining our setting, scenery, and social interaction of our residents. We pride ourselves at being an extension of your own family here at Culver Meadows. Call 231-633-9430.
And welcome in, everyone tuning in. Gladiator football here on Next Level Broadcasting. Charles Strail and Christian Swinsicki. It's 17-0. We're down in Lawton, but there's been some good signs that the Gladiators have been able to show here. But we want to provide our first half recap here on the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport halftime show. It's been 2 rushing touchdowns for Mater and the Lawton Blue Devils. They did put in a 32-yard field goal as well. That what brings us to a 17-0 score. Unfortunately for the Gladiators, Tyler Endress, starting quarterback, will not return. He left with a shoulder injury. It looked to be that his right arm was in a sling as he exited the premises here in Lawton. Christian, we know that this Lawton team is very physical, and we know that for the last 12 months, the Blue Devils have had this game on their calendar after receiving that loss. That was a big loss last year up at Traverse City St. Francis at Thurlby. We've seen them come out with aggression. We've seen some nerves on behalf of the Blue Devils. They've had 3 fumbles that they've recovered all 3. What have you seen that's been the difference so far in this game between the offensive line for the Blue Devils and the defensive front 7 for the Gladiators?
Well, you made the point already, that physicalness, right? We are seeing some members from the St. Francis their group mentioning that they haven't seen them get out physical like this before.
Right.
And that is something that maybe going forward into the second half, we need to see them change to turn the tides. As mentioned also, the ball isn't bouncing their way. The 3 fumbles that just didn't get into their hands, not the oblong shape of the ball bouncing right back into the Blue Devils' hands. They did have the bailout when Olivier at the goal line. I was going to mention Olivier when he fumbled the ball, it rolled out of bounds. That was a good positive in your way. I mean, we do want to mention also that the interception was confirmed to not actually be an interception also. So, hey, good call by the refs. You need to play physical. And do you think that maybe that 6-day turnaround from last Friday to here might play a factor, because that was also physical?
Well, you know, that Charlevoix game was incredibly physical, and they played extra football in overtime as well. We know that the Blue Devils had a relatively easier matchup last week against Benton Harbor. They won by a more significant margin. They won 51-28 over Benton Harbor last week, whereas St. Francis had a 41-40 overtime match against Charlevoix. So, you know, that could be playing into the fact that the Gladiators are getting a little bit of out-physicaled at the point of attack. And when I mean the point of attack, I mean within that first 2 yards within the line of scrimmage and in the tackle box. But the Blue Devils have also done a really good job of sealing the outside edge. We've seen a couple times their running back, number 8, Mater, able to turn the corner, but when he hasn't had to turn the corner, he's found those cutback lanes. And actually, they wiped away a Blue Devil touchdown due to a block in the back on their, I believe, second possession of the game. My apologies. But nevertheless, you know, the line of scrimmage right now, I would say, definitely is being owned and won by the Blue Devil offensive line. We've seen a lot of running so far in the first half as well, which is why this game is moving along at such a swift pace. Total amount of snaps, probably under 50 for the first half. A lot of that's due to because the Blue Devils really want to possess the ball, own time of possession. They're taking a lot of time waiting for their calls from the sideline before getting under center. St. Francis, in our opinion, as they head into the third quarter, using Harrison Shepard as their quarterback for the rest and remainder of this game, I would imagine we see some spread looks. Can they get Harrison in space? Can they get Charlie Olivier the ball on some jet sweeps, get him out on the perimeter? You know, just the
utilize the size and the speed between Shepard and Olivier.
Yeah.
I do want to also mention that Shepard, we did see him hobbling a little bit after some kickoff returns. That isn't quite I mean, we could tell from up here even, he's not quite 100%. That is a big contributing factor, especially when he's your backup quarterback.
It is a big contributing factor, that nagging right ankle injury that Shepard suffered last week up in that slugfest versus Charlevoix. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here during the Traverse City Cherry Capital halftime show. It's Next Level Broadcasting. Charles Trail, Christian Swinsicki. Everybody tuning in up north in Traverse City, wherever you're watching from, go ahead and shoot us a text on the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport text in line. That's 231-350-6738. We'll post that a little bit later, and for future weeks' games, we'll have that text in line posted on the screen. 4 minutes left to go. As you just talked about, trying to get Shepard, Olivier out in space. I think some keys for the Gladiators in the third quarter.
That's some keys from the Gladiators. They're playing clean football still.
Right.
That is something the Blue Devils cannot say.
Right.
That is something that the Gladiators have been able to have a leg up on. They're playing clean football, and what I mean by that, not turning the ball over. The penalties.
Right.
0 penalties for the Gladiators right now, I believe.
Right.
That is big. They just need to contribute to putting more physicality in on the offense. Like you mentioned, getting around the corners of those jet sweeps for Olivier. Shepard, maybe he can, get the ball out of his hands. We saw him absolutely just running for his life in the backfield, it seems like, on some plays.
One thing that the Gladiators have done a very good job of so far under the first 2 quarters of play is their special teams have been on point. We saw a big kickoff return by Olivier. We saw a nice return by Sellers as well. But, that punt that they downed at the 5-yard line, Warren Asher put a lot of hang time under that one. And it was down at the 5-yard line. So special teams definitely doing their part for the Gladiators. Let's see if the defense can come up with an answer here in the second half, and if the offense can get something going here. One thing we do know about the Gladiator coaching staff is they're in at the halftime locker room right now, making some adjustments, looking at the pieces that they have available to them on the chessboard, seeing what they can maneuver, put pieces into different places, and see if they can get some alignment, assignment advantages at the line of scrimmage. So we're going to step aside here, take a break. When we come back, we'll have Gladiator football here, third quarter action on Next Level Broadcasting right after this. This has been the Cherry Capital, Traverse City Cherry Capital halftime show. We'll be back after these messages.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
To Culver Meadows, Traverse City's premier family-owned senior living community specializing in dementia care. Here at Culver Meadows, we cultivate the perfect environment for your loved ones by combining our setting, scenery, and social interaction of our residents. We pride ourselves at being an extension of your own family here at Culver Meadows. call 231-633-9430.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
This is Charles, founder of Next Level Broadcasting. Interested in advertising on our channel? Get a hold of us, and next week, this commercial could be yours.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
This is Charles, founder of Next Level Broadcasting. Interested in advertising on our channel? Get a hold of us, and next week, this commercial could be yours.
And welcome back to Next Level Broadcasting, your home of Gladiator football for the 2023 football season. Big shout out and thank you to our halftime sponsor, the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport. The Gladiators getting ready to kick this one away to the Lawton Blue Devils here at the start of the third quarter. The third quarter brought to you this evening by Culver Meadows. Culver Meadows, our third quarter sponsor here, all the way down in Lawton, Michigan, about 15 minutes southwest of Kalamazoo. Lawton Blue Devils versus the St. Francis Gladiators here. Thanks for tuning in on a Friday night, September 1st. It's a beautiful evening down in the southwest corridor of the state of Michigan. Wherever you're watching and tuning in from, we thank you for making us a part of your Friday night and Labor Day weekend activities.
I just want to point out that this is such a big game. Have you noticed, Charles, it is standing room only here on the Lawton side of the field.
Well, as we talked about at the halftime show, the Lawton Blue Devils had this game circled on their calendar after getting beat 41-7 last year in Traverse City. So the Gladiators will kick it off to the Blue Devils to start the third quarter. Back for the Blue Devils is Motter and Mallory. Ben DeCarlis gets it on the tee on the far side hash. Ball at the 40-yard line. We're ready to go when the third quarter is just about underway. DeCarlis tees it up, puts the right foot down into it. It's a spiral kick received at the 20-yard line on the squib kick, and it's brought out to the 31-yard line. So I don't know if that was by design or not, but the Gladiators decided not to kick it deep to the Blue Devil return man. It was fielded at the 20 and a 10-yard return, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Hey, we're going to see what, Charles? What do I say always now? When the lights turn on,
stars come out.
The stars come out. Now it's time for Traverse City Stars to come out.
All right. O'Brien back under center. It's a full house set, 2 tight ends for the Blue Devils. Up the middle, bursting through the lane and breaking across midfield. He's got a head of steam. That's Caleb Mallory. Caleb Mallory tracked down at the 15-yard line by Charlie Olivier. Olivier putting on the Jets, but the Blue Devils take it from their own 30 all the way down to the 15-yard line. That's a big, big gain on the very first play of the third quarter.
Hey, right up the middle, that's something they showed a little bit of success of in the first quarter, but Traverse City was able to snuff it out for most of the first half, I'm sorry.
Yep, and right up the middle they went. Mallory, the smaller of the 3 backs. There's a nice play made in the backfield. Motter, the ball carrier, but he was brought down quickly by, I believe that was Olivier on the tackle as well for the Gladiators. So number 8, Charlie Olivier, with back-to-back tackles here. One was a touchdown-saving tackle as he tracked and chased down Mallory.
2nd and 10 Blue Devils.
That was like the chase down that DK Metcalf had a couple years back against the Arizona Cardinals. It'll be 2nd and 10 now. Ball on the 15-yard line. O'Brien under center. He's going to keep a full 360 rotation in the backfield on the counter play, and he's brought down just shy of the 10-yard line.
He carries near the 10-yard line.
That little do-si-do they had in the backfield that let them
deceive
the defense and get a couple of extra yards.
He fakes 3 times to all 3 backs behind him, and then they pull the strong side guard, and that's going to lead you to the hole as they run that play to the weak side of the field. 3rd and 5. O'Brien under center. He's going to hand to Motter. Motter picks his way for just short of the first down line to gain. He gets to the 6, needed to get to the 5. So it's going to be 4th and 1. Eli Bigger on the tackle for the Gladiators. It's 4th and 1. Line to gain is the 5. Ball just outside of the 6.
We're looking at a full formation once again. This is their favorite formation from what we've seen tonight.
That's right. 2 tight end, full house set. They're going to pitch it to Motter on the outside. Can he get the corner? He can. Motter puts his head down, breaks the tackle, and he's in for 6. Man, that is their go-to play. We've seen them run that pitch play a couple times on 4th and need to have it scenarios. That's the 2nd time they converted on 4th down on the toss sweep to Motter. And the Blue Devils go up 23-0. Logan Knapp setting up to attempt the PAT.
Out the gate, we're seeing them just still continue that first half being out physical.
And Knapp puts this one directly through the uprights, and the Blue Devils extend their lead 24-0. So an opening drive touchdown in the 3rd quarter extends the Blue Devil lead over the Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators, and we'll see the Gladiator offense, see what type of adjustments they were able to make at halftime before, and when your quarterback gets injured, like what happened to Tyler Endress on the very first, it was a 3rd down. They tried to sneak him around the left side, and he was kind of slung down like a lasso kind of tackle, and his shoulder took the brute force of that tackle, and he will not return for the Gladiators. But as I was saying, sometimes when that happens, a team kind of suffers and goes into some shock, and they're now forced into a completely different offense. Let's see if the Gladiators were able to assess the situation and see what their offense looks like in the 3rd quarter after those halftime adjustments.
Hey, the offense now, use your time. Put points on the board. That's the start.
That's right. Key, ready to kick it away back deep for the Gladiators. The trio of Sellers, Shepard, and Olivier. It's fielded at the 5-yard line by Harrison Shepard. He's working on the long side, the far side of the field, and he is tackled at the 5-yard line. So a net gain of 0 on the punt return.
We mentioned that at the half, special teams was the Gladiators' strong suit.
Yeah.
Right there, that's That's not what you want to be doing, running horizontal.
Well, he was just trying to string that return out as long as possible. And I do want to make a correction. It was a gain of 5 yards on the return. The ball is at the 10-yard line, but he was just trying to string that out into the far side of the field and wait for some blocks, but wasn't able to get any. So it's 9 minutes, 31 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Shotgun snap. They hand off to Charlie. Was that Olivier or Richardson? I'll clarify here as soon as I see the ball carrier stand up.
Hand off to Olivier.
And it was Olivier on the carry. Picks up 4 yards on 1st and 10.
By 32, Caleb Mallory, and 55, Mason Main. 4-yard pickup for St. Francis, 2nd and 6 at the 14-yard line.
So not only is Harrison Shepard kind of working on that bum right ankle, he's, got the mental task of executing the Gladiator offense as well. 8 minutes, 52 seconds in the third quarter. Live from Lawton, Gladiators and Blue Devils. They're going to motion Sellers into the far side of the screen. They send 2 receivers to the top. Richardson and Olivier flanking Shepard to his left. Motioning Sellers in the jet motion again. It's a keeper by Harrison Shepard. He's got some room on the right side of the offensive line, and he's got a Gladiator first down out to the 25-yard line. Nice gain on 2nd and 6 for the Gladiators. Really like that motion look when they bring Sellers through in the jet motion. They've had some success on that formation and play earlier on in this game.
Exactly one of the key points we mentioned at the half. Get in space, get your playmakers the ball, specifically off the edge, and we mentioned specifically the jet sweep.
This time the Gladiators come back out. It's Shepard under center now. Sends the offensive line down, takes the snap. Direct handoff to Cam Sellers around the right side. He's got a nice gain on 1st and 10, pushed out of bounds at the Gladiator 32-yard line. They're working the right side of that offensive line into the weak side of the field, Christian. They must like the matchups or the blocking scheme that they've got going right now on that side of the field.
Last week it was the left side. This week it's the right side.
Right.
Hammering it. They like you mentioned, they like what they're hitting. Maybe they found something at halftime.
Well, back-to-back positive gains for the Gladiators going around the right side of the offensive line. Shepard looks like he's going to come back out in the shotgun being flanked to his left by Richardson and Sellers, excuse me. Olivier in jet motion. They're going to hand to him with 2 lead blockers. He slips 1 tackle. Can he get away from 2? He cannot. Nice play made by Mason Main. Olivier picks up about a half yard.
That was an interesting formation. I looked over as you were questioning it as a shotgun. I don't think I've ever seen a formation like that where you.
Well, they brought Olivier in the jet motion and had 2 lead blockers ahead of him in Sellers and Richardson, but the left side of the line wasn't able to hold Mason Main out for long enough, and he got through and made the stop after a marginal gain on 2nd and 4. It's 3rd and 3 now for the Gladiators. Opportunity to extend this drive. 7 minutes, 8 seconds left. Shepard in the shotgun once again. He's going to fake it, keep it. They're going to pull a guard. Can he get away from Motter? He cannot. Actually, yeah, it was Motter on the tackle for the.
It's going to leave him about a yard short.
Apologies, Nolan Collins on the tackle. Good play made by that defensive lineman for the Blue Devils. It's 4th and 2 for the Gladiators. Ball on the Gladiator 34-yard line. Line to gain just beyond the 35. So it's a short 2 yards. They send 1 receiver to the bottom, 1 to the top.
It does appear
and they're going to punt this one away. Nice punt by Warren Asher. And it's downed just near the 15-yard line by Cam Sellers.
That was interesting because it looked as though that they were going to end up going for it. And honestly, I believe that they were going to go for it. That 4th and 1, you just need 1 yard to gain. However, they elected the punt because, hey, the Blue Devils also didn't have anyone back there. Did you realize that also?
Right. So when you're, looking at your opponent's hand, basically, as they didn't have anyone deep to return the punt, they knew that they'd be able to get that down inside the 20, which they did. So good job of punting by this punt team for the Gladiators. Warren Asher having 2 punts down inside the 20-yard line in this contest. Gladiators with 4 down offensive linemen. The line shifts to the right. Motter on the carry for the Blue Devils. He picks his way out to the 21-yard line, and he's eventually brought down by Charlie Olivier.
These first down runs by the Blue Devils are really adding up on St. Francis right now, as these first down runs are anywhere between 4 and 6 yards apiece.
Apologies, that was Caden Mitchell on the carry for the Blue Devils, but Olivier securing yet another tackle for the Gladiators. It's 2nd and 4. O'Connell is keeping this one, floating it deep down the middle of the field, and it's caught. Big play made. That's Motter. He's got a head of steam. He's going to take it for 6.
Touchdown, Blue Devils.
Motter putting 6 points on the board. It was Cam Sellers in coverage, and he's shaken up on the play. It looks to be a left ankle that he is favoring as he is looking for some assistance coming off the field. That's number 11 in white for the Gladiators, Cam Sellers, who is the injured Gladiator who's being helped off the field.
Man, Traverse City, these first 2 games, is just taking blow after blow on their starting roster.
Yeah, the attrition and the injuries so far just in this game, as Sellers looks to get some attention on that left ankle. Key's point after is good once again, but so it's kind of a double whammy. You give up the big play touchdown pass, and you lose a key cog in your offensive scheme and your safety on defense. So hopefully Cam is all right and he can get some treatment over there. It looks like they're stretching out his legs, so it might just be cramping for number 11 in white, Cam Sellers, who had to be helped off the field there after the touchdown pass by Lawton.
It's as though we need a graphic right here that shows our injury report right out the gate. With Tyler Andrus down, now Sellers out. We know Harrison Shepard is not 100%.
Right.
And they're leaning a lot on Olivier as
much as he can, just to
he's only one man.
Yeah, to recap that, it was a 74-yard touchdown pass from O'Brien to Cal Motter for the Blue Devils.
Cal Motter really doing it all for the Blue Devils this evening, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got all their touchdowns. He's got 28 points on the evening. Back to return for the Gladiators is, let's see if Sellers is back out there. He is. It's eventually taken at the 8-yard line by Lipsinski, and he breaks one tackle and gets out to the 16-yard line. Lipsinski getting about 7 yards on the return. So
Lipsinski getting up wobbly too.
What's that?
Or Harrison Shepard I'm sorry, Harrison Shepard getting up wobbly.
Okay.
He
yeah, I see him. He's you can still see him kind of favoring that right ankle. Right now for the Gladiators, 5 minutes 22 seconds left to go in the third quarter. The last 17-22 remaining in this game. You really want to see them start to create some positive energy towards next week's contest. They'll be playing Ogama Heights over in West Branch.
Get some points on the board. That's going to take a bunch of weight off of your shoulders.
Yeah, a good feel-good drive. Put 6 on the board, potentially 7 with the PAT. Shepard is going to hand off around the left side. Tackle made after a short gain. It was Tharp on the carry for the Gladiators.
As you're starting to see the Gladiator depth come into play.
Right.
Not trying to lean too heavily on Olivier. We know Harrison Shepard wobbly. I imagine he's probably not going to be taking as many as many quarterback draws as we've seen him already.
Right. Will they go under center or will they go shotgun? They've had some success going shotgun, bringing some jet motion on their previous drives, but Shepard's back under center, 2 tight ends with 3 running backs behind him in a full house set. He's going to turn handoff. That is Sellers up the middle, and he gets across the 20-yard line, taken and tackled at the 22.
It is good to see Sellers on the field after that injury scare.
I think it was a cramp in that left leg.
My apologies on the long touchdown when I said kickoff.
Yep. And I like the fact that their ground game is still putting them in these, third and very, very moderate to go situations. 3 downs or 3 yards on third down, that's something that's very attainable. You have pretty much every play in the playbook here within reason because you have your backup quarterback as well taking snaps.
They just need to capitalize on these short down yards.
Yep. Shepard under center once again. He's going to pivot around a couple times. Hand off to Olivier. Actually, excuse me, that was Lisinski. And he's got enough for a Gladiator first down. Faked me out.
We saw Lisinski at the end of the Charlevoix game after all of the injuries. It looks like we're turning to him in the third quarter. Maybe the injuries are mounting up. They're trying to maybe give him some reps as, hey, you got to take the load off of your guys' backs.
Once again, I want to thank our third quarter sponsor today, Culver Meadows, for bringing you Gladiator football live on Next Level Broadcasting this Labor Day weekend. It's officially September. And, you can kind of start to smell fall in the air, but still a very temperate night from Lawton High School. Gladiators under center once again. Offset I formation. The handoff is to Lisinski. He makes his way across the 30-yard line up to the 32. A nice gain of 3.5 yards on 1st and 10. Clock now under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
This game's just flying by, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, the sun might not be completely down by the time we're done with the third quarter. That's how fast we're going through this. It's progressing fast. Not a lot of incompletions, not a lot of stoppage of time.
Yeah, a lot of ground game. We've seen both teams really try to establish time of possession. Gladiators send, looks like we're going to have 2 receivers into the short side of the field. Shepard in the shotgun, flanked by Richardson and Lisinski as they motion Lisinski over to the right side. 2. And then the motion Cam Sellers. Shepard on the keeper on the left side of the line and is up across the 35-yard line.
And that's a tough kid, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, he's giving it his all right now, and so is this Gladiator offensive line. If you look at it, if you watch this game and just watch every single running play that they've had, the offensive line has been doing a good job of consistently giving these ball carriers opportunities to pick up 3-4 yards. One thing I do want to make note of is that the Lawton Blue Devil defense are very sure-handed tacklers. Haven't seen a lot of missed tackles by the Blue Devils. Gladiators were able to break a lot of those tackles last week against the Raiders.
That's an excellent point, Charles.
3rd and 3, once again, manageable down. Shepard under center once again. He's going to fake the give around the left side. They go to Sellers, and he picks his way up to the 38-yard line. It's going to be 4th and about 2. Let's see what the Gladiators opt to do here on 4th down.
We're under a minute here in the third quarter now.
Yeah, 50 seconds as the Gladiators break the huddle. This snap will probably come under the 35-second mark in this game. Harrison Shepard shuffles in the play from the sideline. They come out, and they will send Sellers to the bottom of the screen, 2 receivers to the top. That's Lisinski and Olivier. Richardson to the left of Shepard in the shotgun. Motioning Lisinski. He's going to lead around the left side for Harrison Shepard, and they're not going to get that. They're unable to pick up the 4th and 2 The left side kind of got shut off by Caden Mitchell and the rest of that Blue Devil defense as they swarmed and made the tackle on Harrison Shepard. So a turnover on downs. The Blue Devils will take over at the Gladiator 36-yard line. Christian, I apologize. What were you going to say there?
I was going to say, you mentioned that they're sure-handed tackling. Right there was the emphasis. They had, Shepard, he had maybe just a step, and he couldn't execute that step.
Couldn't get free from that first tackler. Blue Devils come out in their full house set once again. Big hit, but able to shake free of it and eventually push the pile was Caden Mitchell. Mitchell, just a sophomore for the Blue Devils, and he's had an impact on tonight's game.
That's gonna lead us to the end of the third.
Pladlick and Rylson on the tackle for the Gladiators, and that's going to bring it to the end of the third quarter here on Next Level Broadcasting. We're going to step aside here and thank some of our sponsors. When we come back, fourth quarter football action between Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators and the Lawton Blue Devils. Coming back after this on Next Level Broadcasting.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action here on Next Level Broadcasting. Ball is on the 26-yard line of the Gladiators. It's 1st and 10 Blue Devils. O'Brien under center. He's going to fake the give. It's Motter coming around the right side of the offensive line, slips through the offensive line, and he's got some room, and he's in for 6. Motter coming around right tackle, and Cal Motter punches it in for 6 for another 6 points to his tally on the evening.
They had him at the line of scrimmage, but it didn't matter. He was able to get away.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. It was an excellent job of blocking up front by that Blue Devil offensive line, executing their assignments. There was one Gladiator that had a chance to get him right at the line of scrimmage, but Motter stepped through the arm tackle attempt. Logan Key puts it up and puts it through. Logan Knapp.
Well,
as I was saying earlier, Christian, and all of our viewers turning in tonight, for the last 11 minutes, 55 seconds now in the fourth quarter, this is an opportunity for the Gladiators to start building some momentum towards next week's game versus Ogama Heights West Branch.
Yeah, absolutely. You're playing for next week now. I'm not seeing a 38-point comeback in the fourth quarter with 11:55 to go. I'm not seeing it in the books. My crystal ball isn't telling me that today. You came in, and second play of the game, your starting quarterback gets injured, and your already injured backup quarterback being left to go out there and fulfill his duty of being one of the co-captains.
Once again, want to thank all of our sponsors this evening. Want to thank Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, Redmond Automotive, Pop Excavating, Photography by Scarlett, Alpers Excavating, the Chris Hathaway Farm Bureau Insurance, 3 West Commercial Real Estate, Renew It, Outdoor Decking, Culver Meadows, Team Elmers, PGO's Pizza, and Magnum Hospitality for bringing you Gladiator football here on Next Level Broadcasting. Back deep to receive for the Glads is Sellers, Olivier, and is it Shepard or Lisinski? I can't tell from my vantage point, but it looks like it is indeed Shepard for the Gladiators, along with Olivier and Sellers. And that kick lands about 6 yards deep in the end zone. Touchback. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line for the Gladiators. 11:55 left in the fourth quarter here from Lawton High School. As I said, Gladiators now with an opportunity to really build some momentum. And right now, for all of us tuning in, watching, wherever you're watching from, we just want to see them come out of this healthy.
Yeah, that is the most important part, right? Doesn't matter if you're scoring. You would like to see them score, but right now the health is big. They've had a little bit of the injury bug in these first 2 games. Just get out of here alive.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Shepard back under center, 3 backs behind him. He's going to turn and hand, and weaving his way through traffic, but not able to get past the original line of scrimmage was Braden Tharp. It'll be second and they're going to give him, actually they're going to spot him back behind the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be second and 11.
This is the best field position the Gladiators have had in their last 3 possessions, because their special teams unit has not been able to really fulfill what we saw in the first half. They've really been behind on the 8 ball.
Their best starting field position, that's exactly right. We saw their first possession of the third quarter. They made it across midfield, got backed up, had an untimely sack that set them back. But if they're able to string some positive plays here together, that would be a good sight as we play here with the Gladiators handing this one. Actually,
it's the keeper.
Yeah, Shepard kept it. I looked to see what how much time was left on the clock, and when I looked back, Shepard had decided he was going to take it himself.
I thought you were going to tell me it was one of those fake handoffs that they've been doing. They've been catching me on some place today. Those fake handoffs, they're catching me up here. I can't imagine how trained you have to be down there to catch it.
So it's 3rd and 9, St. Francis. Ball is on the 21-yard line. And let's see what they opt to do here. They line up 2 tight ends. Shepard under center. Takes and hands off. Coming around this near side. That's Lisinski. He's got some speed. He's got a lot of room. Can he evade one tackler? Lisinski breaks through a tackle, and he's going to take it for a touchdown. Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators. Man, we needed to see that. Lisinski opening up some speed, and he took it 79 yards for a Gladiator touchdown. That's what we wanted to see. Excellent job of blocking up front. Excellent ball fakes in the backfield by the quarterback and other running backs. Lisinski did the rest, stepped out of one tackle at about the 25-yard line, and took it the rest of the way himself.
That's that breath of fresh air that you can now breathe. You finally are on the board. The monkey's off the back.
Right.
It might enlighten your that might excite your defense enough to maybe they can plant their feet in the grass and stop them for a drive, and hey, maybe you can put some more points. Make this actually a game.
That's right. Gladiators lining up to go for 2. Split backfield. Tommy Richardson on the carry. He's just short of getting in for the 2-point conversion.
That's interesting. I heard the PA. I thought he said the 2-point conversion was good.
No, the near side line judge said that he was not able to convert it. So
yeah, that's what I saw.
So the score is 38-6. Once again, want to thank all of our sponsors for bringing this game to you live tonight. Once again, it's Redmond Automotive, Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, Pop Excavating, photography by Scarlett Alpers Excavating, Farm Bureau Insurance, that's Chris Hathaway, 3 West Commercial Real Estate, Renew It Outdoor Decks and Living, Culver Meadows Senior Living Center, Team Elmer's, PGO's Pizza, and Magnum Hospitality, and the Red Mesa Grill in Traverse City, allowing for Traverse City St. Francis football to be live on Next Level Broadcasting all season long. It was Braxton Lisinski who reeled and ripped off the 79-yard touchdown run. which put the Gladiators on the board. It's 38-6 with 10 minutes left to go. Ben DeCarlis getting ready to kick this one away for the Glads.
We mentioned just a few minutes ago 2 key points, and they've already got one of them. The first one, getting points. The second one, stay healthy.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. DeCarlis set to send this one deep. It's an end-over-end kick fielded at the 14-yard line with a head of steam making his way across and out to the 30-yard line. That was Hayden Merriman for the Blue Devils.
This might be the Blue Devils' worst field position that we've seen them in some time.
It was Tyler Sheeran on the tackle. Tyler, the senior, 5'6", listed at 135. So Tyler, good job getting down there on special teams and making a play for the Gladiators. It'll be Blue Devil ball at the 30-yard line. 9 minutes, 54 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Once again, Charles Strail, Christian Swinsicki here for Next Level Broadcasting, the rest of our production crew, live from Lawton. Blue Devils hand this one up the middle and tackled immediately. First men coming up from the bottom of the pile for the Gladiators was Tommy Richardson and Eli Bigger.
We're going to see the Blue Devils run down the clock. They're going to, you mentioned earlier that they were already kind of burning the clock. I think we're going to see that even more so here.
Yeah, I want to mention that the Gladiators have Charlie Olivier resting on the sideline as well for this series. Maybe just giving him some well-deserved rest.
I think I can agree with that. That's
a big part of this Traverse City St. Francis team as the Blue Devils hand this one up the left side on actually an inside give on the left side. Right, trying to just go the left side of the guard into the short side of the field. Third and 8 now.
Harrison Shepard has now come off the field, and Cam Sellers has come on for him.
Okay. So Cam Sellers in playing free safety for the Gladiators. 4 defensive linemen down in a 4-point position, or 4-point stance. 2 stand-up defensive ends for the Gladiators. It's going to be a handoff. Mallory getting it on the right side off tackle play. And got about a yard or maybe just back to the original line of scrimmage. And that's going to bring out the punt team for the Lawton Blue Devils. First time we've seen the punt team on the field for the Blue Devils, but we do have Harrison Shepard coming back on the field for the Gladiators. Both he and Cam Sellers will be deep to return this punt. Knapp getting ready to send this one away for the Blue Devils, and Knapp's got a pretty good leg. I mean, we've seen him punch in some PATs that would have been good. You know, we saw him actually kick a 32-yard field goal as well. Let's see if the Gladiators can set up a good return here. As it's a high end-over-end kick, bounces at the 36, and it's going to be touched down at the 30-yard line.
Well, play for some more points for next week, right? Now here are the serious reps. These are still important reps late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you confidence right now. I mean, we saw the 79-yard touchdown run by Lisinski on the previous possession. Got to give credit to that offensive line for sealing up those blocks. Lisinski stepped through 1 tackle, but he was pretty much untouched up until that point. So let's see if that offensive unit can continue that positive momentum here with 7 minutes, 27 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
There's going to be a lot of, I believe, mental errors that Traverse City is going to have to fix here in film within the next week.
Yeah, and you know, you got to give credit to the Lawton defense. I mean, I haven't seen them miss more than a handful of tackles as a trouble with the snap, and it looks like Harrison Shepard got back on top of that football. Yep. Shepherd did not recover, so it's going to be Blue Devil football.
Wow, that's not often that we catch them with the unforced error.
Yeah, so let's see here. No, we still haven't received a signal from the line judge, so I'd imagine that it's actually going to be St. Francis football. So they did recover it. Shepherd got back on top of it. Everything we just said, block out, because it's still Gladiator football, 2nd and 14. Shepherd has to keep this one in the backfield as they had a little bit of trouble on the exchange as he was looking to hand it off, and he just did the smart thing there and kept the ball.
Absolutely. There was a slip in the backfield there. Threw off the timing of the handoff. Harrison Shepherd did absolutely the right thing, keeping it himself. Just try and stay healthy at that point, though, if you're Harrison Shepherd.
Exactly.
Heady play for next week at this point. This is
well, not only playing for next week, but you're playing for a lot of pride on behalf of yourself, your school, and your program. And that's why I really like to see that 79-yard touchdown run by Lesinski on that most previous possession for the Gladiators. 3-back set behind Shepherd, and we got a lot of movement on the right side of the offensive line. Who jumped first?
I think that's going to be an encroachment.
It should be an encroachment. It looked like big number 56 for Lawton moved early, and he is indeed the guilty party. So St. Francis will take the free set of 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 9 when we snap this one next. It's at the 5-minute, 41-second mark of the 4th quarter.
Man, these kids are out there toughing it out. Hey,
they certainly are.
You're down 32 with 5:40 to go, and you still see Harrison Shepherd wobble out there, and that's gotta inspire some confidence to your teammates also.
I mean, everybody looking at him that's probably fighting some other bumps and bruises, knowing that one of your leaders is out there dealing with it as well, as they're going to turn and hand this one up the near sideline, and that is a nice play stepping in, and then did he go out of bounds? No, he did not. A nice run for a pickup of 27 yards. That was Tyler Cadlick, the ball carrier.
It looked as though he did step out of bounds. The refs didn't end up seeing it, though. But at that point, you chalk it up for those extra yards. That's a positive play for Traverse City.
Yeah, I like the success that they're having around the right side of the offensive line. Running, the guard tackle, doing a good job of getting those blocks and allowing those ball carriers to come through. That was the same play that we saw Braxton Lesinski score on earlier. Shepherd is going to turn, hand off, and that was Braden Tharp. And he was met after a gain of about 1.5 yards.
Tackled by 43, Caleb Turner, and number 9, Blake Holder.
They managed to score points here. You are absolutely right. You're playing for pride, making it for next week. With less than 4:30 to go in the ball game, I should say. This one of the other key point, stay healthy, and the second key point, score points.
Absolutely. Four minutes, 8 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. Shepherd under center for the Gladiators. He's going to turn and give, and that is, it was another handoff to Cadlick, and it was tackled for loss in the backfield.
He almost took the handoff, the Blue Devils. They were right back there in the backfield so fast. There's nothing you can do when you're a running back and you get the ball, and the first thing you do when you're looking for a hole is you see a Blue Devil right in your face.
So that's going to push the Gladiators back into a 3rd and 13. Ball is on the Lawton 40-yard line. Line to gain is just inside the 27 of Lawton. So it's a long 13.
We're looking at shotgun here. Nope,
no,
under center.
Under center. It looks like Cadlick and Richardson behind, and they're going to give to Richardson out on the right side of the line. He's going to burst through for a first down. He got out to the 26-yard line, and that was a nice push by the right side of that offensive line. They brought the H-back out there, Tommy Donahue, number 2, and he got out there leading the charge for
absolutely a power run up the right side. You mentioned that they are having success going up the right side of the line. That halfback power O to the right, nothing but success. Able to get the first down after being 3rd and 13. That's something you would have liked to have seen in the first 3 quarters.
And I want to apologize. I need to make a correction. That was number 23, Jack Gruber, who picked up that first down. And Gruber's getting another carry, and he's going to get 9.
Important rep for Gruber here. He's not often one of the men that you look at on the offense as someone that's going to see the ball a lot, but he's making the most of his playing time right now.
And the other thing I want to make a point about Jack Gruber, he's listed as 5'11", 165, but he runs hard and he runs low. On the last 2 carries that he's had, he picked up 25, 26 yards on 2 carries. So good job for him running hard and having a low center of mass when running. Shepard's going to hand this one off inside. Hand off to Tommy Donahue. And he's got enough for our Gladiator first down at the 11-yard line. There's 1 minute, 26 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10. Gladiators can get one more first down inside the 3-yard line for a 1st and goal if they're able to keep advancing the ball on this possession. This possession started at their own 30, I believe, Christian?
You're absolutely right. Their own 30, and a lot of it, this isn't Shepard and this isn't Olivier. This is Gruber and Donahue. Some new faces on the offense.
That's right. They're going to turn and fumbled, and the ball is still up in the air. It's being volleyballed around, and Lawton is claiming they have it, and it looks like they do indeed have it. So the fumbled exchange is kind of the last play on offense that the Gladiators are going to have during this game. And it'll be 1st and 10 Lawton. 45 seconds left to go. This will be victory formation for the Blue Devils as they'll take a knee.
That's almost ironic for the Gladiators as they started this drive off with what looked like a fumble, and then they end the drive on what is a fumble.
Well, the tale of fumbles, I think you could definitely make a point to mention it about this game. You know, Lawton putting the ball on the ground 3 separate times, recovering all 3 of those fumbles in the first half. This game could have swung to a lot of other different directions if those fumbles don't fall right back into the arms of the Blue Devils. So the Lawton Blue Devils take a knee, and that's going to take us, they'll have to snap it one more time before they can run the clock out. And another knee taken. So that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. Gladiators fall to the Lawton Blue Devils 38-6. Next week the Glads have Ogama on the schedule and a bounce back opportunity for them. Hopefully, you know, the Gladiators can heal up, get some of those injuries checked out. And, you know, the beauty of high school football is you've got another opportunity just 7 days away. So, you know, they'll have to watch the film, regroup, and take, you know, good notes of, you know, where they can improve on. And I'm sure the coaching staff already has some thoughts that they've got in mind about what they can do next week to ensure their success and march on toward victory against the Ogama Heights Eagles.
Absolutely, and I want to point out, again, I can't emphasize this enough, is in the coming week you mentioned film, notes, some proper R&R for next week. A lot of injuries going into this game, a lot more injuries coming out of this game. You can only look forward to the future at this point and look for some R&R, rest up, and come back strong next week.
Exactly. I mean, that's very well said, Christian. You got to get some R&R. If you were looking at it from like a doctor's prescription, they'd say get some rest, ice down those injuries, and moving forward. Obviously, you're taking your lump, your loss here. It's a big defeat, 38-6, but I think they learned a lot, especially in the fourth quarter. They had the big touchdown run. They had a nice drive, marched it all the way down to the field. Unfortunately, it ended in a fumble in the backfield, but that shows heart.
I want to say also that even though the score was 38-6, it felt close the entire way. The St. Francis never gave up. They played physical throughout. Unfortunately, Lawton they out-physicaled them. It was still a very physical game throughout. Unfortunately, it just doesn't fall for St. Francis's way.
That's right. So we're going to be continuing the Gladiator tradition. We're going to have our players of the game joining us here on the Culver Meadows post-game show. We're going to step aside here and have a brief commercial break. When we come back, we'll have our Gladiator players of the game joining us live from Lawton during the Culver Meadows post-game show here on Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be back after these messages.
Lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Traverse City's premier, family-owned senior living community specializing in dementia care. Here at Culver Meadows, we cultivate the perfect environment for your loved ones by combining our setting, scenery, and social interaction of our residents. We pride ourselves at being an extension of your own family here at Culver Meadows. Call 231-633-9430.
Lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Welcome to Culver Meadows, Traverse City's premier family-owned senior living community specializing in dementia care. Here at Culver Meadows, we cultivate the perfect environment for your loved ones by combining our setting, scenery, and social interaction of our residents. We pride ourselves at being an extension of your own family here at Culver Meadows. Call 231-633-9430.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Welcome in to the Culver Meadows post-game show here on Next Level Broadcasting. As promised, we have our player of the game post-game interview. Joining us tonight is senior number 7, Mason Dasiak. Mason, it was a tough night. We saw a lot of balls just kind of not bounce your way. Lawton had 3 fumble recoveries that they had in the first half alone. Can you kind of talk to us a little bit about sometimes that adherence or the perseverance you have to have as a football team and as a player and a leader of this team to be able to kind of shake off some of those bounces that don't go your way.
As a captain, as a senior leader, down on yourself, the rest of the guys are going to see that. And so as long, like, you just got to stay, keep supporting them, tell them you get knocked down, you get right back up. And, that's really what our team goes by. So in this, we're not going to hang our heads, and we're just going to do what we can to get better.
That's exactly right. Well said, well said. So I know that early on in this game, Tyler Endress goes down, looked to be like a shoulder injury, and you're kind of thrown into the ringer there. Lawton comes out and scores on the preceding possession, and you're kind of forced to call an audible, for lack of a better term, and you put Harrison in there under center, and the whole playbook kind of gets shrunk down. But not to make an excuse for Harrison, but what did you see out of him tonight? Being able to, he's battling that injury, we all know that, but for him to be thrown in the fire like that and for him to bounce back as a leader, what did you see from Harrison?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. He's a captain too, so he knows that he has to lead this team as well.
Yep.
So yeah, it was awesome to see that he never gave up on us, and we never gave up on him. So we supported him, he supported us, and we did what we could, really.
Yep. Now, with about 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, the right side of your offensive line opened up a nice hole for Lisinski to get that 79-yard touchdown run. We said on the broadcast that it would be a real crucial point in time of the game if you're able to get some points in the fourth quarter to build that momentum towards the next week. At that point in time, you were really trying to play for pride, the name on the front of your jersey, your program, but also get a good feeling toward next week versus Ogama Heights. What do you have to say, about your perseverance, even playing through the adversity in that fourth quarter, building towards next week?
Yeah, so like what you said, at that point we were just doing it for pride, and so I really liked how we didn't give up, and so we proved to ourselves that we can fight through this and we can score when we're really struggling a lot.
Yep.
And so we're going to carry that in the next week, and when we get knocked back down, we're going to get back up and we're going to keep trying to score.
That's very well said. Very well said. Well, Mason, thank you for joining us on the Culver Meadows post-game show here. That's going to conclude our coverage from St. Francis and Lawton. Next week, the Gladiators go on the road to take on Ogama Heights West Branch. We'll have that for you and all the other Gladiator games right here on Next Level Broadcasting. For Mason, thank you for joining us on the post-game show. Heal up, enjoy the ride home, relax a little bit, and good luck next week. Thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and we're going to step aside. This is the conclusion of the Next Level Broadcasting coverage of Traverse City St. Francis football. Next week, next Friday night at Ogama Heights. Thank you, and good night.